So,
Okay.
I'm Koa, this is Demora. We're
Hi.
doing a quick Q&A for you guys. Demora has a list of the most popular questions that we've gotten so far that she's going to start with. So what's the first question?
Okay, the first question is, what is your favorite type of inflatable rig? Some of the examples were breast, belly, inflatable body, etc.
There's been a couple of really cool ones that I've used, actually. I'd say my favorite in terms of the one that I like to use most often is breast expansion rigs, just because I like the aesthetic of them. They're fun to play with. We use the really, really large rigs, so kind of one of my favorite things to do is just like rest on it like a pillow. But another thing I really enjoyed is not too long ago we started doing like full body blueberry suits, and we had a special effects guy make a custom rig for us that was significantly bigger than any of the rigs we'd used in the past. And when it was fully inflated, it was actually enough that it basically fully immobilized me, and I was almost kind of like a little bit, like, I don't want to say crucified, but I was a little bit like crucified by it. And it's funny because I actually got feedback on the first video that we did with it, and they said that it seemed like I got bored and lost interest, and it was literally that like I couldn't move, and so the only thing I was doing was my facial expressions. So in spite of the fact that that particular video didn't do well, I really enjoyed filming it just because it was a very different experience. In terms of that, I'd say those are probably my two favorite. What about you?
That sounds like it would be really fun. I would love to try it. Even though that's not my personal thing, that just sounds like it would be a really very cool experience.
Yeah, it's very, very different. Actually, talked to him because we're considering. We lost access to the guy that did our special effects is no longer available, so we're considering doing another one. So talk to him because it'd be pretty. Because they're considering building another one.
That would be fun. Mine would probably be, of course, the breast expansion because, well, that's sort of my thing. Or don't break stuff. Or I like our lactation one. I like it's not really, I guess, a rig per se, but I guess it's sort of integrated into. So, yeah, I think
I didn't know.
Yeah, we've got it to where
It's incredibly messy.
It is incredibly messy. Like, we've got one where, like, I actually sat in the bathtub and it was just everywhere.
Okay, that sounds actually pretty awesome.
I was soaked. There was not a part of my body. I mean, it was in my hair. It was everywhere. But it was hilarious and it was so worth it. And then at the end, he ended up dumping the rest of the milk out on me. So it was a great night. But I think those are probably my two favorite ones that we've done. Just because it was just fun.
That sounds awesome.
It was great.
That sounds so awesome. Okay, next question.
How much do you guys plan to film together? This is a two-parter.
Okay.
And then do you guys have a lot of collaborations planned?
For these, we work together when we can, but we are really far apart. So while we love working together, it can't happen very often just because travel distance and schedules.
Yeah.
But in terms of, do we have a lot of collabos planned? For me, yes, I love
As
working
much
with
as
these
possible.
two.
And we have a lot of fun. It's to me, it's not like a forced type of thing. We have a lot of fun. It's not like, oh, Jesus Christ, we seriously have to do this again. I'm sick. I have to not work with her today.
Sorry, I need to wash my hair again.
Is it time to go home yet? No. This is, like, all of the laughing and the interaction is always such a good time getting to work with not only just Koa, but Max Growth. It's a great time. So Grieve and I really enjoy getting to work with both of you guys. So thank you guys so much for having us. We thoroughly enjoy this.
We like working with you too, just because you guys take different approaches to things than we do. So honestly, it's very cool to see like a different solution to a problem that's been driving us crazy, or like a subtopic that we haven't approached. Where you guys, for example, you were talking about like streaming the BE dungeon crawler, like stuff like that, where like stuff we didn't even know existed. And so just having somebody to exchange ideas with, honestly, is pretty cool.
That is an awesome. That's something that we enjoy as well. Okay, that knocked out 2 of them. Nice. Okay, what's it like working together in comparison to filming a video on your own? Any different?
Kind of ties into
Sort
what we were
of,
just
yeah.
what we just covered.
Well,
A little bit, like we feed off each other.
The nice thing is you can get away from like constantly having to use like the phone call as the other person on the phone to kind of have. Otherwise, you're just kind of walking around talking to yourself. And,
Actually talking to someone.
It's always a bonus when you've got that extra person because then you've got real interaction.
Yeah.
With people.
Yeah, and on that same
So
thought. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, that's what led to the Professor Busty thing. I'm like, well, we don't have 2 people, so you're going to argue with yourself. So she has like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing going on.
I very much enjoy arguing with myself, thank you. At least half the time I'm right.
I've got multiple personalities, so I really do argue with myself all the time anyways. But I don't have to fake fight myself now. So...
I keep getting into arguments with me and I always lose.
I always lose. You always win. Oh, here's one. What is your favorite color?
Hands down purple, but pretty much any jewel tone. Like, if it's super saturated, odds are I like it, but purple and, like, very, very deep blue, very, very, very deep, like, rainforest green, anything super saturated, but violet, like, especially the shade of Graham's Crystal Violet is probably my exact favorite color.
I like that. Mine is, I like dark purple and royal blue. And then, what's yours?
Blue.
Ooh, fancy blue.
On this spot to put into it, like, just blue.
What's yours?
I don't know.
Red.
Yeah.
Red. You like
We're
red?
going red, yeah. I kind of carry it around.
Yeah, ginger. What's your favorite food?
Oh, God. So, in the first place, I eat a lot. Like, my hobby is eating. I wish I'm joking. Steak is definitely number 1. I can 100% kill a steak faster than just about anybody you've ever met. I'm pretty sure my current partner fell in love with me because he saw me eat a steak. But I also like trying out different cuisines. So, like, I love making Thai food. I love making different curries. Japanese is very high on my list. I love kind of I typically like punch you in the face flavors, but the thing that I like about Japanese cuisine is that it focuses on letting the ingredients stand on its own, and so you've got this very clean presentation that's very visually appealing, and it's very sort of almost minimalism in food form. So, yeah, I'm a food nerd.
What's the Japanese thing that I can never remember the name of?
Okonomiyaki. So it's most of my weeaboo friends will be familiar with it, but it's often called like Japanese pancakes or Japanese pizza. It's sort of a misnomer to call it either one. It's a savory sort of pancake-like dish that has like typically fish and cabbage mixed into the batter and either leeks or spring onions, and then it's topped with shaved bonito and mayonnaise and katsu sauce, and it sounds disgusting, but it is seriously the most amazing, like, fatty, awful, good for you mess that you have ever had.
It sounds delicious. That sounds amazing.
What about
like
you?
Macaroni and cheese. I like pasta. I don't like seafood very much. I'm not near as like.
You like very like clean, simple,
ours are
like
simple. Grieve likes meat. I don't really do much seafood or anything like that. I thoroughly enjoy pasta. A lot.
honestly, like
So
a good
much
gnocchi
pasta.
or like strangolapreti or like good lasagna. Like you really can't beat like good Italian food.
But macaroni and cheese, hands down, favorite food ever. And
Nothing
ice
wrong with
cream.
knowing what, well, like, because it's nostalgia. It's simple comfort food. Like, that
Yeah.
stuff is great. Like,
I'm Southern. Biscuits and gravy, macaroni and cheese, ice cream. That's all I need in
Put
life.
sour cream in your mac and cheese.
I have had sour cream in my mac and cheese. Oh yeah, I'm good.
okay, next.
Favorite SASCON memories.
I think we talked about this a little bit in our last Q&A, but for me, one of the things that I like about going to conventions is the unplanned moments. So all of the panels are always awesome. All of the, like, for example, they did the little cafe things I thought was really cool. They did Q&As. They actually had, like, the New York BDSM company come in and do presentations on, like, kink and consent and safety. Those were amazing. But for me, the unplanned moments of the con are kind of the things that I like best. So, for example, there was a fetish performer who goes by Striker who was there, and one of the audience members during his Q&A asked him, like, hey, I'm new to kink. My girlfriend would really like me to choke her. I'm not comfortable with that. I know it can be dangerous. I don't want to hurt her. Striker talks to this guy and he's like, hey, I do this for a living, man. If you want to learn how to do that safely, talk to me after this panel is over. Come and I'll give you a tutorial on how to do that safely. In fact, anybody in this audience, if you want to learn how to do it safely, come to me. I'll teach you how afterwards.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And spent
He's
like
a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's super sweet. But he spent like, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes after the panel just going through a line of people, showing them like, hey guys, this is how you do this safely.
This is how you choke people.
Like safely without risking damaging actual windpipes. Like, so that was really cool. One of the people who worked with the New York BDSM company is a dom who goes by D in the scene. She literally took me aside for like probably half an hour, and just kind of talked shop with me and gave me some pointers about things that I was interested in getting into. Like, just the whole community was really sweet and really welcoming. And so again, like for me, it's those human interactions that you can't count on. That's what makes a con fun.
Yeah, definitely. I just went around, and this being my first con period of any sort, so I was extremely nervous about just going period, because it was also my first time in a big city. It was my first time at a con, especially, I mean, we had only been doing this for like 3 months, so I was brand spanking new to anything. So I was terrified, but just everyone being so very welcoming. Like, I didn't know what to expect, who to expect. I went around and I got to talk to like Gary Pranzo, I got to talk to Bianca Baker, I got to talk to you, I got to talk to Max Groth, I got to talk to Miles Striker, and everyone was just like, yeah, do you have any questions? Well, let me show you this, and I was just like, holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like, did this just actually happen? And people were just like, people were treating me like they had known me for years, like we just grew up down the road from each other, and I was just like, that was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've never felt more welcome and comfortable than at somewhere like this.
Yeah, and I think in part it's because the people who put on SizeCon work very hard to make it feel like a safe community. They had, the security staff there was doing an amazing job just kind of checking in on everyone, making sure everyone was okay, and I think because of that, it lets those casual friendships spring up because everybody feels safe and welcomed in that space. You know what I mean?
100%. Okay. The character you'd most like to cosplay, vanilla or kinky?
Okay, so I'm gonna nerd down a little bit on this. So a couple months ago, I just finished Doomfist, and like every single cosplayer ever, the first thing that I want to do is do a better version of that and improve some things on that. But in terms of these, hey Bob, do we want to release that on the promo, or do you want me to talk about that now? The one that we're getting ready to do with the GTS guy?
Go ahead and you can talk about it now, because the other one is going to be such a short little teaser that we'll put that out right away.
First, and then this?
And then this
Okay.
will come out later.
Okay. So, to build up to this a little bit, there was a comic that the internet exploded over, and particularly the size community exploded over, and we are building Bowsette for you guys. And I'm actually very excited because we're doing both a blonde and a red Bowsette. So we do, real Bowsette and also... I know canonically blonde Bowsette is like the original Bowsette. Red Bowsette is better, and you can fight me. Other than that, that's a project for that I'm doing to help Max Growth out. I'm going to be doing a lot of the work on the actual costume, but we're building. We have both a small and a large bustier of it, so the goal is to be able to expand in the costume. We'll see how that pans out. I cannot make any promises because a lot of this is going to be experimental because, cosplay materials are very different than the stuff that we usually work with, and getting it to expand and look good while it's expanding might be tricky. But that's what's in the works for us right now. And then personal projects, like I said, I'm working on making a better version of my Doomfist, and also I'm trying to do Demona from Gargoyles because I found out they're making a new one soon, and so I'm going to do OG Demona if I can, if skill levels allow.
I think we are going, because we're very, very brand spanking new. Oh, by the way, your Doomfist is awesome.
Thank you. I tried really hard.
I got to see a picture. It looks great. Don't let her downplay it. It looks amazing. We are going to try and weasel our way in. Like, Grieve has done some of the guns from Destiny and things like that, and he's done some really cool ones. So
You're very quiet.
But Grieve has done some of his guns from Destiny and some of the swords and things like that. So we're wanting to sort of start trying. So we're going to try and do a Koa, if I can speak, and have that be just sort of a symbol, but one that will have breast expansion because me. But so that's the one that I'm gonna start trying and weasel my way in with.
Now you're talking about the blonde Bowsette and redhead Bowsette. You need a versus. Just do a video Bowsette versus Bowsette.
Just like the worst choppy green screen stuff where I'm roaring and then it badly zigzag cuts to me roaring back.
Just gotta do it like a low budget Godzilla movie.
The funny thing was I approach her all the time and I'll say, well, how do you feel about doing this, or what do you think about doing that? And it's like, oh yeah, okay, or sometimes no, sometimes it's well, okay, but I'm not super stoked about it. But when I brought up this one, it was just like, yes.
Didn't even get to finish it. Didn't get to finish it. Jump through the phone.
The Bowsette would be pretty cool. I can see that would be awesome. I would never have thought
I think
of
it's
that.
going to be awesome. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
The genre of content you'd like to shoot that you haven't yet.
In terms of fetish content, actually, this is a really timely question. We are breaking into Giantess and Tiny stuff. We've done a little bit of Giantess and Tiny stuff, but we're working soon. Scheduling is always a nightmare, so it is months from now. But we're working soon.
Gary Pranzo?
With Gary Pranzo, who's going to be building Giantess stuff for us, and I'm pretty excited to see how that turns out. Just because I got to mess around with Giantess and Tiny perspectives a little bit at the last SizeCon. They had green screen areas, and there were a couple of people who were giving time to do photo edits that were, especially in the time that they had to do the work, were doing an amazing job, because they'd take the image and an hour later they'd come back and it'd be a magazine quality print. They did all of them did amazing work, and were super sweet people to work with, but
Yeah.
but I digress. Anyway, so we got to mess around with a little bit of Giantess and a little bit of Tiny at the last SizeCon. We've done 1 or 2 clips where we sort of integrated a little bit to it, but these are going to be specifically Giantess and Tiny stuff, and so I'm actually really looking forward to that. How about you?
I couldn't remember what the question was.
Is there like a genre of fetish that you want to shoot that you haven't gotten to mess around with yet?
We are actually sort of starting to work with, out of the giant and tiny, I would definitely be more of a tiny. I'm only 4'11" as is, so
Just
compared
scoop
to
you up and carry you off.
compared to you, I'm just an itty bitty thing anyways. And so I would definitely be a tiny little thing. But we're working with the green screen and starting to work with some tiny things. So that's definitely something that we're wanting to try and do more of.
Nice.
So yeah, we're going to start working with some of that too.
Well, there you go. Some of
So
us.
that works out.
We've also wanted to do something involving steampunk for quite a while.
The problem with that, I don't know if you guys could hear him just now. He said we've been wanting to do something steampunk for forever. The problem with steampunk is the wardrobe is very detailed. The background needs to be very detailed. The props need to be very detailed. Trying to find anywhere that has like a good shoot location for it is almost impossible, let alone getting all of the like MacGuffins and things in line for it. So like, there's sight gags that we've been wanting to do forever that would work amazingly well in a steampunk scenario, and we just do not have yet like the level of resources that we need to do steampunk stuff, even though it would be amazing.
That would be really cool. I didn't even think about that. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I never even thought about that.
Like,
That would be amazing.
Anyway, sorry. So next question.
Okay.
Now you have people in a rage.
There's gonna be like one guy with amazing audio processing who like goes back and processes the audio and spends like forever obsessing in this. Like, all right, I got this snippet and this snippet. Internet, do your thing and tell me what
Oh,
this
they're supposed to
said.
meet at Area 51 and start an hour right now.
Ko, this one is specifically for you. Are you prepared?
Yes.
Do you have any social media accounts?
I am really bad about social media in general. I have technically a Koa Facebook. It's literally, it's koa@gmail.com if you want to search for it in Facebook, but I am on there like, I'm not even joking, I log into Facebook like maybe once every 6 months. I am really terrible about social media. I don't have an Instagram. I don't have like a Tumblr. I have like...
Tumblr's dead now anyways.
Yeah.
People aren't really
And then Pornhub was like, hi guys.
We're on Tumblr now.
So while I know it would make it easier for everybody, social media is just not something that I find very intuitive, and it's not something I have a lot of time to dedicate to. So unfortunately, that's just not really something that I have. The best way to get a hold of me or to reach out is to talk to like the actual max growth pages.
You just made everybody so sad.
Like let down all of the
They're
audiences.
crying right
There
now.
has been multiple times, anytime we like posted something with Instagram that like you guys like pictures of you guys are together and stuff. Like, does she have an Instagram?
I really should. I think the problem is I missed the boat when it started, and like now the level that I would have to do to even get like a halfway even remotely mediocre Insta page going is like I'm so far behind that I wouldn't even be like, people would be like, this is what we waited for.
They would hop on that train so quick, your head would spin. They like every time that we post anything, they're like, oh, by the way, does Koa have a page? Have you spoken to Koa recently?
They're reaching out to you like, hey, you're her PR person, right?
Yeah, they do. It's like, girl, I'm telling you, if I knew, I would let you know, because I would be on it too. I am so a fan. Okay, and last but not least, what got you into this?
So, Max Growth specifically found me back when I was on Model Mayhem, but I'd been doing a lot of like soft fetish work. Like I've done foot fetish, I've done hypnosis fetish, and all that similar kind of like PG but still sexy and kind of like dipping a toe into that taboo. Like honestly, that's the sort of stuff that I love because you sort of get to feel like you're walking on the wild side and getting kind of a peek into what makes people tick and what turns people on, but still maintaining kind of that like PG-13, it's fun, it's lighthearted, like...
It's a certain level of decorum.
I mean that, yeah, and like there's no disrespect intended to the people who do actual hardcore content. That is in and of itself a very difficult and very demanding profession. It's just not something that I've personally ever felt like I could do and give my best at. Whereas kind of the PG-13 stuff, I love being able to laugh while I'm at work. I love being able to be silly. I love, like, I love the fact that, for example, the body types are more informal and more welcoming. But Hob will be the first one to tell you, they can't keep, like, donuts around or chocolate around. It's just gone on a shoot. And, you know, I've done some, like, proper conventional modeling, and before a proper conventional modeling shoot, you know, you don't eat that morning, it can make a lump in your stomach and make you look weird. You, like, overhydrate for 3 days beforehand so that your skin is nice and dewy. You do all of these things where it's like, it's so precision, and I applaud that precision and I enjoy that precision, but it's also nice to work in a field where it's like, oh, you gained some weight? Fucking awesome. Are you gonna gain more? Like, can we make like a series out of this? This is amazing. Whereas like conventional modeling, as much as I love the end result, being in a profession where it's like, you gained an 1.5 inches in your waist, you're unhireable now. Why did you even like bother to approach us? Get out. Like, and they're getting better about it now that thicker models are more considered more conventionally attractive and more desirable. But I like being able to relax and laugh and work and not have to plan, okay, here's my entire diet for this month that I have to stick to militantly, or I'm going to not fit into the wardrobe. Where it's like, you know, I show up here, they've got like donuts and cookies and Reese's on tap, just like handed. Like, I know that makes me sound lazy, but yeah, damn it, I enjoy being lazy at work.
This is the SNL way of like porn. This is like the improv comedic side of it. Or the SNL of porn.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why she likes working with me. Is because she likes eating.
I do. They're not joking. There's literally donuts on the corner back there. They literally brought them.
We went last night, and I'm like, I'm getting donuts, and I'm getting sandwich stuff, and I'm getting pop, and I'm getting juice.
Oh, 1 second. Just read that one part again, because apparently, like, we hit the time limit for that, so...
Whoops.
Yeah, well, let's just...
How long ago?
Just, like, no, like, literally a second ago.
Oh, okay.
I would just finish, so, like, start where you were saying, you were talking about, like, going last night, and I'll just kind of cut it in, and then,
Okay.
yeah, because that was the last question anyways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so just kind of just wrap it up, I guess. And,
Okay.
so that's almost a half hour already.
Oh, good
Oh,
lord.
wow.
Yeah.
We're good at this. We're bad at this, depending on which way you want to.
Okay, so, sorry guys, we're just coming back. We actually talked so much that we ran out of time. But we were basically answering what got you into this, why do you like what you do, and I had been talking about the fact that, you know, I kind of enjoy the more casual environment where, you know, we joke around on set, we laugh, we eat, we, like, interact like humans instead of like robots that have to form like a specific exact function right then and there and then get out. So for me, that's the appealing part of this. And then we were joking about the fact that like she literally brought donuts for us for our shoot. Like there's donuts and sandwich stuff over there. So.
Pop juice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like
strawberry milk.
they'll
I like food.
and Bob and TF will both bring like, you know, crackers and hummus and like fruit and donuts and cookies and just like I like eating, so I enjoy being able to eat while I'm working.
I got into this because, well,
I always put the finger pointed at me. It's his fault.
it's because that's where it
Isn't
started.
it though?
It really is. Like, he had seen a thing about needing an expansion model, and then we had tried for it, and then it ended up not being what they wanted, but we enjoyed doing it together as a husband and wife group, and it actually brought us closer together as a husband and wife, and we just enjoy doing it. So that's what we do. And then we ended up branching out, and we enjoy it, and it's fun. And then we got to meet some more awesome people, and we get to eat while we do it. And this
Let's go back to
model,
food.
and
Three
this
questions that come
model,
back to food so far.
She's getting
Make
ready,
no bones about it. We are literally only here for food.
she's getting ready to happy cry.
and I like food. No, it's just been getting to meet some amazing people, and it's been a great experience, and that's why it's been awesome. And we're gonna do it until it's not fun anymore. And that's pretty much why we
It's
do
the only
it.
reason to do things, right?
Yeah, I mean we're gonna do it until it's not fun anymore, and I think that's about it. So, do you have any questions that you
No, I think we
feel
covered.
like we need to cover?
I think we
anything?
covered all the-
I feel like we had a pretty good span of questions this time.
Apparently talked so much that we ran out the timer.
We've never had a cut that long. We've never done it before. Something's always screwed up at this point.
Does anybody else have anything?
Good.
All
All right,
right.
guys. Well, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support. As always, Demora, Koa, thank you guys for being awesome.
Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much. Bye.